Hi guys, in this video here, sorry, shaky camera, in this video I'm just going to do sort of like a review and just a little warning to everyone who has Surface Pro 1 and 2 chargers. So if you have a Surface Pro 1 or 2, usually you have a charger like this. They are awesome little chargers, I absolutely love them, but there's one really sad and really annoying design flaw which will impact mainly people who commute and move around quite a lot and carry their chargers around everywhere. Homeowners, not as, people who work off home, who use these chargers at home and they barely move, they just sit on the floor gathering dust, not as much. But people who commute like me, like I'm a college student, so I need to charge my laptop. I usually charge it at home and at night, but sometimes I forget and I need to charge it at school. That's why I take it with me. So anyway, first of all, this charger outputs 12 volts. I think you'll see it, 12 volts direct current at 3.6 amperes. And then it's got a USB power source, 5 volts, 1 amp. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. I haven't tested it. Can take it's a universal charger, so it can take 100 to 240 volts, 1.3 amps. It's not much. 50 to 60 hertz. So yeah, you can really plug anything into this port. That's just it's a universal adapter for Surface Pro 1 and 2. Awesome little chargers, and also, frankly, what you don't see enough and what you should be seeing a lot more is look at all these. Look at these marks, safety marks. UL listed, that UL listed, that's an awesome mark you should be seeing on a lot of appliances, but you know, it can be fake. It's double insulated, it's for indoor use only. Not sure what that tick means. Means do not dispose of, so it has to be recycled. TUV, I don't know what that is. So yeah, it's got CE, I don't know what the 10 is, BC, I don't know, 2,000 meters. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. It's altitude thing. I don't know. But look, it's a great little charger. It's got short circuit protection. It's got so it's all in different languages as well. So as I said, universal. It's got short circuit protection. It's got overheating protection. But what protection it doesn't have? It's not really protection. It doesn't actually have any form of inrush current a limiting factor. So this was made in Japan. I think it was. Should do. I think it was made in Japan. I can't really see it at the moment. Tell me in the comments if it's made in China, but I'm pretty sure it's made in Japan. So yeah. So it's got all this. It's really sad, but I think it's just a design flaw, or it might be just my handling of it. But I tend to handle chargers quite well, and I'm not trying to toot my horn here, but I've been really taught how to actually properly wind up a charger. A lot of people tend to do this, and yes, you will be cringing over this, but this is broken, so I cannot fix it. People tend to do this. I'll show you. Here we go, people tend to do that, put heaps of stress on there, that's how they break. This is broken right here, but I don't know why, but I don't do that. I give this charger a lot of slack. So when I wind it up like that, I usually leave a bit of slack like that, so this is not stressed, and it still breaks on me. So this is my second charger that's done this to me now. I've had this computer for 5 years, and this is what happens. These chargers just break right there. And thank God they've got short circuit protection, because it's shorted out internally now. This has been warm, but yeah, it's got short circuit protection. And they're not cheap. To get these genuine chargers, they're like at least around $36–40, and that's what I've paid for to get a new one. And you can get, it depends where you buy them from, but that's why I got mine from the internet. It's like Trade Me New Zealand, so it's like a website that's for really New Zealand based stuff. But anyway, yeah, $40 for another one of these, so I'll see, try and take a little more care with it. But I've never really put stress on this at all. And I'll show you how the core I've actually. So this is, as I said, this is my second one. My first one I actually pulled apart. So here's really sort of a diagram of how. So this is the insulation. So this black stuff here, that's the insulation. That's your negative. It's like an armor. Before the insulation is an armor, and that's your negative. If you cut that armor off, there's that thing. This computer is not going to charge. This here's your positive, so that's your first call. These two little wires are very thin. They're your signal wires. So there's a little light on top of there that switches on, and that's telling the computer. That's telling me that the computer's charging. So these signal wires, I don't mind. That positive wire, I don't mind. That's all good. But what I think that it should have been done is put some insulation, or make the, instead of the neutral being an armor like that, make it into actual like a proper bundled conductor, like the positive wire. So the risk of when you're bending the cord back and forth, or when you're moving it around, it won't break. And this is what's been happening. It's been moving around. When I've been moving my computer around, of course this naturally moves around with it, because it's a cable, and to the point where the arm is just broken, and it's yeah, it's not charging my computer anymore. And it's actually what they tend to do is short circuit inside, and that's what it's done, shorted out. And that's another problem. If and it would create less of a fire hazard, because if this was a separate core with insulation and this broke, the risk would have been totally almost eliminated. The neutral would have just broken, or the positive would have just broken. They wouldn't have been charging. And since the neutral's an armor cable, it's bare, so it can poke around when you're moving this around like that. It will poke and pierce and scrape off the insulation or the positive wire. I've seen it because I pulled it apart. This is all honest. None of this crap is being made up. All honest. It's an honest channel. I don't lie to this crap. I don't make fake videos either. So that's what it does. And it's pierced and it's shorted out. So now this charger gets warm. I think it's charging my computer, but the computer tells me it's not charging. And this light isn't on either. So it must be shorted out. Nothing's connected to the 5-volt USB power supply, which is really handy, so must be shorted out. So that's how it works. That's the cable. So, and they also, what's a little bit annoying, but I think it's just for costs, they give you a ridiculously short power cable. What is that, 30 centimeters? Really, like, look, not much. Not much room. Would have PowerPoints on the desk or something. Not cool. Anyway, yeah, so that's the problem with these surface chargers. So if you ever want to buy one, these will be breaking. So have a spare one. And now I can't do my work on this computer anymore because I don't have a spare one. Both of them are broken. I actually plan to repair the other one and get it going again. I'm going to buy a case for it. And even though this is a completely sealed unit, I'll buy a case and solder this cord back onto it and get it up and working again, because I need chargers. Anyway, so that's what's up. It's all broken at the moment, so that's what's happening. If you plan to buy a Surface, or you have one of these, Surface Pro 1, Pro 2, they do have a bit of a dodgy cord. I think even the 3 and 4 have the same arrangement, but they have a different plug. So, yeah, just beware of that. I think that's the end of my this little video here. But again, as I said, it's really disappointing, because you get all this cheap, nasty crap on the internet. Because I was searching up about these chargers. I was trying to buy a new one. These are not cheap, like $40 starting off. You can get $20 ones, but it's a different charger. You don't get this stuff. It's just like a plastic case with a wire coming out of it with this on the end of it. Who bloody knows what's inside there? This has been designed by Microsoft Japan. I think it's been designed by them. It says it right there. They've been designed by these smart people who put so much time and effort into this. This has been tested by my UL listed safety mark, all this stuff. and you get the online $10 ones with a cord coming out of it. This has overcurrent protection. I don't think those ones have overcurrent protection because they'll probably just burst into flames. Who knows where they've been made in? So it's a real shame that these break right here. Like, if I'd really hope they broke like here or here, because what I could just do is cut the cable right here and resolder a new one on. Simple. Or maybe people who don't have that ability, but have to buy a new one. But for the people who know how to do this stuff, it's really easy. You just resolder it, but they have to break here, which is it's really sad. But on the other hand, awesome little chargers, but that's the only fault. They break right there. So as I said before, if you have these computers or if you have this type of charger, just try and be as gentle as possible, but do not expect it to last very long. Things aren't made as well as they used to be. But the Japanese still make things quite well, to be honest, like their cars, but this isn't a car, it's an electrical appliance. But anyway, that's it for this video. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned inrush current. No, I didn't. I slightly touched upon it. When you plug this in, as you can see, this was the original cord. I replaced it with another one. It's not because of this, but it's because of its length. But first of all, if you can see the blacking on the ends, that's all this inrush current. When you plug it into, especially a multi-box socket, you don't usually have it because the switch is up and off, so you just turn it on and the switch does the work. When you plug it in, there's always power to a multi-box like that where my shoes are. So that's just gonna go pop. I'll see if I can do it for you. Hold on a minute. I usually hear a big pop or a flash, or hear a flash. It's not a short circuit, doesn't trip any breakers, but it just deteriorates the pins and the crap on the multi-box. But I'll show you. Right, let's see if we can do it. I'm just waiting for the sine wave to beep. Okay. Just trying to short out there's a little capacitor inside. You can't really hear it, but there's a arcing sound. It's natural for power supplies, but this makes a nice pop. Damn it. 1 second. Right, let's see. For God's sake. Doesn't work. Anyway, it usually makes a bit of a pop, but doesn't want to do it today, but that's its inrush current. But anyway, that's about it. Yeah, so that's my little review, sort of rant, on surface chargers. So yeah, that's about it. So until next time, thank you for watching.